Hello?
Hi.
Testing, testing, testing. Why this ring? Okay, there we go. I think. What is occurring? Why is my audio not working? Huh. Oh, there it goes. Alright. Thought my audio was tripping for a second there, but it's working. Anyways. What fresh heck is going on here, ladies and gents? I'm David. Welcome back to the channel. And I am rather late. Sleep was not on the schedule last night, I'll tell you what. Ended up oversleeping by a lot. And then I had to get it set up, which took even longer. But, you know, we're gonna hatch up some rock drakes today, finally. And I have 10 eggs that we've been holding on to for like, let's say, well over a year, maybe? We just had like a fridge worth of max level rock drake eggs. And I did kind of want to take this time to talk about some new stuff that's coming in For Honor in a more detailed manner, I suppose. Let's see. Can I boost my audio? Because it sounds like. Let's see. I'm gonna turn myself up a little bit. Because, wow. I feel like I'm a little too quiet. So, let's see if that works. Okay, it sounds like that helped a little bit. Tech babies, you keep them alive the same way you do regular ones. But anyways, you just gotta make sure they stay fed. Okay, there we go. You know what? I did kind of have some quick thoughts on the earlier upload. Just some more like reactions to everything. As far as the horror stuff, and I did want to take a more detailed conversation about it, but I wasn't sure where. So I was like, considering we're probably going to be standing here watching rock drakes. Staring at rock drakes the whole time while they're small. Figured out why not keep it.
Even though I feed them.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Set of twins. You love to see it. Yeah, well, we'll be turning one of these eventually into a... Oh, man, if only that was something that could be bred. I will be eventually turning one of these into Vienna because for some reason that drake is missing. Because I have a personal collection of rock drakes. What's behind me? Oh, Gustavus. I have a personal collection of rock drakes, and one of them is missing, so I'll probably use maybe this one. So that's 2. And we have loads of venom. We'll go ahead and do that. No, of course not. Oh boy. So we might end up going offline here for a minute. Alright, there's 5 for you. No, you don't really need to give these guys too much venom, really.
I feed them berries, what else
at least on our server. It depends on the creature. Because like Tech Stego, Tech Parasaur, those are gonna eat berries. Tech Quetzals and the other ones are probably gonna eat some kind of meat. I found that everything universally eats fish meat, so you can try that too. Like literally everything eats fish meat. But anyways, coming back to the whole Ferrari thing before I forget, because I will. I feel like there's a lot of people who they see their mains. You know,
thanks.
Again, I posted in that For Honor group that I'm in. You know, and they see their mains on the list that are getting reworked. You know, Glad mains, Zerk mains, and you know all these other people. They see oh my main is on this list. Why though? They're absolutely perfect. Are they though? Because a lot like me with my main 3, the human mind can be very biased with stuff that they like or that they don't like, which is why I said in the earlier video that I can't speak on Berserker because I don't like him. I don't play him. He feels like easy mode to me. You know, same thing with JJ, and he's, for me, a little bit too complicated. I never could fully understand him, but I've played him at least a little bit, so I have some experience, but nothing that to like sniff. I can point out a few things here and there, and you know, stuff like that. So I have found that, you know, if your main is on a list of people that are getting reworked, try to look at it from the perspective of someone else who is stuck fighting you. Because sure, you're loving that, say Berserker, for example. Say you're loving that hyper armor. You're loving to be able to just slap people out of their combos and whatnot. But is the person you're fighting having any fun right now? Or are you so sucked into I'm throwing out my combos and, you know, eliminating everything that you're not even paying attention to the other person? See, games are meant to be fun for everyone. And For Honor is one of those games where that kind of gets forgotten more often than not. And yeah, if, say, Berserker, for example, I've been saying it for a long time, and some others have said it for a long time, but the biggest problem going for him, and the same could be said for Warlord, and even people that played him in some cases have said that, yeah, this is way too snake and easy, is both of them can just hyper armor through everything. Now, I've had people tell me, I'm not going to name names tonight, that have said, oh, Berserker needs that hyper armor. You know who else needed that hyper armor but lost it? Itakiri lost it, because according to the showcase when she came out, is that she was a character meant for trading. How can she trade without hyper armor? You know, and also, I have always been of the, as much as I love the character, I've always been of the opinion that Hitakiri falls under the niche of a decent starting point for someone who does not understand heavies. Because she's not overly complicated, she doesn't have this all guard type thing with like Warlord or Conqueror, which that all guard thing is so overpowered, I swear. They're freaking good. It's not overly complicated. There's not like that Sifu stance from JJ that make them super complicated. Hitakiri is a good starting point for someone who wants to understand heavies, and that is a position that I think she should stay, like for sure. And that's always been her positioning. That's always where I think she should have been. So when you took away the parts that make her like easy to understand, and like, oh, you can throw out variable timed heavies, because you know who else has variable timed heavies actually? Shugoki kind of does. I mean, I don't play him all that often. In fact, I barely touched him at all. But he does have he kind of, in a way, does have the variable timed heavies. Warlord has very fast heavies. And you know what, I guess you can kind of argue, well, he does have a little midget sword, so of course he can swing that arm a lot faster. But still, like, if I were to say anything about the other characters, I think there's one or two things that I would change for sure. I would love to see maybe Juggernaut for a Berserker if he just lost like all that most of that hyper armor that has him be very oppressive, very in your face, and just overall not a fun time to deal with. Because every time I see Berserker, I'm like, oh great, this punk again, you know. And you know what? It's such a pest, especially when you're playing with characters that have been nerfed into oblivion or are ridiculously underpowered. Say Zanhu. And you know what? Listen, I'm not spectacular at the game. You know, I can't light parry all that much. But to see like someone like Ferrum use Zanhu effectively and like tear up everybody is satisfying. But that's Ferrum. You know, that's the literal master of anti-ganking. So of course he can do something like that. You know, but I think Berserker for sure. If he lost all his hyper armor and got Juggernaut instead, that would probably be good. One thing that I found very annoying, and I've beaten this horse into the ground, and I know I have, is that the CCU was supposed to fix light spam, but characters like Gladiator and ironically JJ, both those characters, they still managed to be able to throw lights out all day long. And it's more egregious with, I'd say, JJ, because he's got that Sifu stance, and what that does, what that allows him to do, is that allows him to regain stamina. And like, so, you know, you can throw out a bunch of lights, right? Just throw out light. And then go into that Sifu stance and gain stamina back really fast. I was talking to Modern Mercenary about this. And he has spent he's played JJ a lot, he knows the character really well, and he agrees that that was kind of silly, and I'm kind of an outsider looking in. And that's kind of why I think JJ is there. Now, as far as Berserker and JJ, I'd say they fall into the same niche. Glad is another egregious example as far as light spam is concerned, because that whole quad light, and you can just keep doing it over and over again. If you were to... Gladiator is one of those assassins that, yes, takes a lot of skill. It takes a lot to master. It takes a lot to understand. He's one of the more complicated assassins, I'd say. And he's not egregiously annoying like Peacekeeper. He doesn't spam bleed. There's only one way to really do it, and it's at the end of a chain, which is like where I think bleed should stay. You know, out of all the assassins, he and I say Shaman are probably the most powerful, because Shaman's punishes are really good. And one thing that, and if I could talk about Shaman for a second and Gladiator together, one thing I like is that you have to deflect in order to get that bleed off. And that's why I think bleed should stay. Like 100%. That's why I think bleed should remain, because it's just one of those things that it's a brain dead concept. It's like the problem with Griffin right now, is that you can just turn your brain off and just throw out attacks mindlessly, almost. Which I guess you can argue that's where Hito was at the beginning, but not really, because you could still parry the attacks. It's just she fit the role that she had at the beginning, which was trading, you know. And I'm trying to think who else. Let's see, who else? Let's see. Hold on. Where's that picture? I have it. Shigoki. Shigoki's another one. Again, I haven't really played him all that much. I don't really play him all that much because I don't like him at all. The hyper armor on lights, which is kind of annoying, which is something that even most Shigoki mains that use their brain and are thinking about other people, like Tony, for example. Shout out to that guy. Lovely human being. He has stated that, hyper armor on lights and on a lot of that stuff is not really all that good for other people. And, I agree. Just hyper armor on lights in general, just why? Just why? Also, this is an army and a half if I ever did see it. That's always been my kind of thing there. And honestly, if you don't like hearing that, then I'm sorry, but it's basically the same problem that people had with Hitsukiri at the beginning, and except because it's Shigoki, because it's Warlord or Berserker, no one's gonna say squat about it. They'll make justifications for why it should be there, and that in and of itself is exactly probably why they are there. A lot of these early For Honor characters, they haven't been touched all that much. That's why I think there is the focus to get these characters that have been around in a long time in the testing grounds. And I know Hitsukiri, for example, is fairly recent, sure, but the issue is that she has gotten way too many nerfs. People that actually like the character have stated in the past, she's gotten nerfed way too many times, and I fully agree. And Zanhu on release has still been about the same. Sure, she got a bit of a boost when CCU came out, and the CCU is useless because it was supposed to negate light spam. It was supposed to get rid of that, and light spam still exists. So CCU is useless. And yeah, I've beaten the snot out of the CCU billions of times, but it's true. Nobody likes what the CCU did. They broke Haramusha, and even people that don't like Haramusha are like, yeah, no, wow, that actually kind of stinks. And yeah, I'm glad he's in the testing grounds. I'm happy for any other Musha mains that have been sleeping on the character and kind of put the character away because of how bad it got for him. I feel you, in Shigoki mains, Berserker mains, JJ mains, Glad mains. Welcome to the freaking scare tactics, I guess. Because this is the thing about nerfs, is it's scary for people who play the character. I was very nervous when Hitsukiri got that last couple of nerfs. And even some people who are on the hater radar for Hito have said that, okay, that last nerf was kind of, that's bullying right there, like, bruh. Like, you've done wrong if someone who doesn't like a character or whatever is like stating that's kind of mean. Like, bruh. Hitakiri haters are even saying that the Senbon nerf was stupid. But as far as everything else, I've been talking about the reworks all the time, really. This next event looks great. It's like Carousel of Death, but with a Guardian. I actually really like that idea. That's a brilliant idea. But whatever. We'll see. Warden's reworked. I have nothing to say about it, except for it's excellent. There's not really much to say. I mean, they've made a couple changes since then, but everything that's happening with Warden right now, really, really good. He's going to be a lot tougher in 4s, I think, and really, really good. I might actually play him a little bit more often, because I've played him a couple times. I got a few reps in, but he was never a character that I really spent a lot of time with. I did at the start, just because it was one of the first characters unlocked. You got Warden right there. And I've always been a fan of his moveset. I've always liked the basic knight. I've always liked knight characters, except for Peacekeeper. Screw Peacekeeper. that bleed spam bullcrap is annoying, and it always has been. And even people who are better than me at this game have said that if that's literally all she can do, then that's just bad. It's just bad design, and it is. I mean, sure, her character changes recently, if I'm going to talk about her for a second, are fairly, or good for the character overall. It wasn't good for, say, everyone else. But it falls under a niche, I suppose. You hate it or you love it. But Warden's changes, I'm happy for all the Warden mains. I know a lot of people are heavy. Side unblockables for Warden, that's actually brilliant. I really like that idea. Why was it not in the game earlier? I think everything that's coming is going to be really, really good. The new outfits and the new weapons, it's all really, it's good stuff. There's a lot of stuff there. But it just depends on the execution. Now, here's to hoping that it's nothing stupid as far as the changes, because Sakura has been dealt a bad hand. Hitakiri, by the way. Sakura has been dealt a bad hand for sure, and the hyper armor loss and the ability to trade being gone was literally probably the worst change that could be made to her. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what's decided. I hope, and I said this in the quick thoughts video, which I didn't add too many edits to, because it was just pure my thoughts, blah blah blah. But here's to hoping that they actually pay attention and recognize what Hito players are saying, what Zanhu players are saying, what players of characters are seeing and noticing, because every single character that is on the list is either capable of light spam, all the other characters. Zanhu is capable of light spam, Armush is still capable of light spam, Hitakiri can for some reason. I mean, it's a 2-hit chain, so what are you doing? Why? Just why? If you're okay, I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you're playing a heavy character and you're light spamming, what the? Who hurt you as a child? Like, honestly, like that is the most egregious thing ever. Like, you're playing a heavy. Now, I wouldn't blame you if you're throwing out bunches of heavies. Like, yeah, no, makes sense. Heavy characters throw lots of heavies. There's some things we said about assassins, really. You throw out, light spam makes sense, but it's also annoying. Stop it. And also, I was fighting this roach the other day. I was fighting a roach the other day. I parried maybe 5 lights from him, because that's how many lights he was throwing out. Like, and I'm already not good at parrying lights yet, but like, bruh, that's kind of sad. And like, if you're rep 10 plus, and you're light spamming, uh, what are you doing? Why? And see, that's one thing, is I believe firmly that a lot of these people that are spamming lights and doing that stuff, the same thing with JJ, is they're just doing that because they're capable of doing it. Now, why? I don't freaking know. Because you know what, Roach has already been nerfed a couple times. You know, it's the CCU slowed down his lights, and then he got another light slowdown thing. And you know, I've said it before. That was the slowed down lights. While it's on paper, it was good. Those lights are still coming out really fast. They still are. And you know, the side lights I'm noticing are kind of slower. If you're not hit stunned, then you can actually react to them and you can actually block them. But every attack should be blockable, except for undodgeables. You know, not being able to be dodged. Which, duh, that's the point of them. But every single attack should be able to be blocked and/or parried. That's just it. You know, and one final thing on the Senbon nerf. I know I've talked about it a lot, but blocking Senbon is like being able to block the Arrow Storm or something. It makes absolutely no sense, does it? It's just like, it'd be funny though if there was some kind of like animation where you could like block the arrows, like you pick your weapon up and like hide behind it, or like if you have like a shield, right? And you like point your shield up, like upwards. If you have the upward guard, your character will like hide behind the shield, or like the Spear Storm, for example. But that would be no different than that. Or if you could like select like like if you're gonna nerf Senbon, then nerf all the four feats. Make it to where if your character has a shield, you can block it. Or if you know you can actually, you know, because it is sidesteppable. You can sidestep the Arrow Storm. You can sidestep the Spear Storm. You can sidestep Senbon, but it still got nerfed. I'm just saying. But anyways, yeah, no, I could literally talk all day about this, but I won't, because I got to go. I got other things. You know what? Life in general takes some level priority. I want to get some more artwork done because I haven't been doing any art for a while. I have a couple of things working on right now. Oh, that was a fail. I mean, I think we can finally put these two drakes to bed now. Because we have a 570 army. You know, things are looking up for sure for us. You know, we got a max level Karkanos. You know, we got our army of drakes. We got our army of reapers. Things are looking up for us in the near future, and I'm real excited for it. We'll be able to take on Rockwell really soon. I'm definitely going to use some of these drakes for that, for sure. And you know what? I think I'm going to breed up some Megalosaurus real soon, as well. And you know, I'm excited. I'm just really excited. You know, the future is looking great. Everything else is really good. Still doing pretty well after everything else that has happened in the last few weeks. And you know, still find myself looking to the left every now and then. But I'm doing okay. Things are getting better for me, which is always going to be a good thing. But yeah, guys, I'm going to call it here. If y'all did enjoy the video, do not forget to drop a like on it. Subscribe if you're new. We are 4 away from 100. And I am literally starting to look at footage to use for the channel trailer. Real excited for that. But yeah, subscribe if you're new. 4 more from 100. Can we do it? I believe we can. Check out the last couple uploads if you haven't already. And I'll be seeing you all next time. Bye bye. Ooh, excuse me.